Hey guys, today what we're going to be doing is looking at volume of a cone. So a volume of a cone is, let me go ahead and draw you guys a cone. It looks like an ice cream cone. And so it's basically a circle that kind of comes up to a pyramid. So the formula for this is pi r squared times the height. So that's similar to the cylinder. Now the difference between a cylinder and a cone is we're going to divide by 3. And this is the volume for a cone. If you kind of look at it too, if we put like 3 cones next to each other, it would look like a cylinder. Okay, so that's a little rough draft of what it looks like. So anyways, let's go ahead and look at this one. We're going to use, every time we see pi, we're going to use 3.14. So remember, the formula is, for volume of a cone, pi r squared times the height all over 3. So I'm just going to plug in these values here. My volume is 3.14 times my radius, which is 20 squared, times the height, which is 45. I'm going to divide the whole thing by 45. Because that is, excuse me, I'm going to take a step back. Divide the whole thing by 3. All right, so let's go ahead now and bring up the calculator and do this. My first part is I'm going to multiply 20 to the second power. So 20 to the second power is 400. I'm going to times that by 45, and then I'm going to times that by 3.14, which is my pi, and I'm going to divide the whole thing by 3. So it is 18,840 centimeters cubed. All right, let's go and look at the next one now. It says, I have a cone with a diameter of 4.2 meters. So here is the base of my cone. Has a diameter of 4.2 meters. And it has a height. My height is 5 meters. So since my diameter is 4.2, in order to find the radius, what we're going to do is just cut it in half and only focus on the highlighted area. So what that would be is if I divided 4.2 in half, it would be 2.1. So now I'm going to use all these numbers now in order to find the volume of the cone. So the volume would be, let me write my formula out, pi r squared times the height all over 3. So this would be volume equals 3.14 times the radius, 2.1 squared, times the height, all over 3. So now I'm going to just plug this in my calculator. I'm going to have 2.1 to the second power times 3.14 times my height, which is 5. And I'm going to divide the whole thing by 3. And this will give me 23.079. It says round to the nearest tenth, so it's going to be 23.1 meters cubed. Okay. All right, the next one we're going to do, it says the volume of a cone is 628.3 cubic feet. It has a diameter of 20 feet. Find the height of the cone. So let's go ahead. If I draw this, it already gives me the volume, and let's actually figure out what I'm solving for. So it says that the volume is 628.3 cubic feet. I know that it has a diameter of 20, and it says find the height. So if I were to look at the formula, volume equals pi r squared times the height all over 3, I'm just going to plug in everything I know. I know that the height is 628.3. I know pi is 3.14. Now, it doesn't give me the radius, but it does give me the diameter, which means half of the diameter is my radius, which is 10. So it's going to be 10 to the second power times height all over 3. So if I went ahead and started solving this, my first step that I would do is I would multiply 10 to the second power, which is 100, times 3.14, which is 314. So I'm going to have 628.3 is equal, this whole thing simplifies to 314 times h all over 3. Now that I have that, I'm just going to start by multiplying 3 on both sides. So if I have 628.3 times 3, I now have 1884.9 equals 314 times h. And then all I'm going to do is divide both sides by 314, and that'll give me then 6.00. So basically about 6 is my height. All right. So let's go and look at one more. Allie has ordered a dozen bottles of sparkling cider for her grandmother's 70th birthday. Each bottle contains 750 centimeters cubed. Allie will be serving the cider in conical glasses, it's just a cone-shaped glass, that are 6 centimeters across and 10 centimeters tall. How many glasses should be able to pour? So it's basically saying when it has a conical glass, it's just a fancy glass that looks like this. Okay, so this is where you're pouring the drink into. So we're only going to be focusing on this part of the cone. So it is saying that this is 10 centimeters tall, and the other part, it says it's 6 centimeters across. So what we need to do is find the volume of one cone, of one glass, and see how many can she fill in. Well, I already know that she has a dozen bottles, so that means she has 12 bottles of sparkling cider, and each one contains 750 centimeters. So if each bottle has 750 centimeters cubed of liquid, and I have 12 of them, that means I'm going to have a total of 9,000 centimeters cubed of liquid to pour. Now each one is going to be filled up into here. So I need to find the volume of one glass. So this is going to look like, we're going to use the volume for this cone, which is pi r squared times the height, all over 3. So this will give me then volume equals 3.14 times, it gives me the diameter, it says it's 6 across, therefore the radius would be 3. And my height is 10. Okay, so now when I do this, I am just going to plug all this information into my calculator. I'm going to have 3 to the second power, which is 9. So I'm going to do 9 times 10, which is 90, times 3.14, which is pi, divided by 3 equals 94.2. So what it's saying is I have a total of 9,000 cubic centimeters of sparkling cider, and each glass can contain 94.2. So I can fill about, let's go ahead and divide these two now, 9,000 divided by 94.2, about 95 glasses. All right. So I hope this video was able to help. If you have any questions, please feel free to email me or your teacher.